I am Art Walker and I offer free tutorials on how to draw various things. And today you've stumbled across my live stream, and I'm going to teach you all how to draw the male torso. So we're going to focus mainly on the abdominal area and the shoulders, I suppose. So it's just going to be mainly the torso area. And today I'm going to show you how I would put together a really kind of heavily jacked female body. So it's going to be a little bit over the top with regards to muscle mass, but that's the whole object of the exercise today. So all I ask of you is, if you're watching this live stream, if you like what you see, hit the like button. And if you really like what you see, share the live. So let's get rid of this. So this is an example of some torsos that I drew quite a while ago. As you can see, I'm going to talk to you about how you can shape the body with a basic cube. And then we can add the muscle mass and the abdominals and so on. So let's get into this. Thank you to the three that are in the room. Thank you for joining me. So if I was to start drawing a male figure, or any figure for that matter, it could be male or female, it doesn't really matter. I would start with center line, which would define the spine, right? So if we go center line, that defines the spine. And then shoulder area. So this is what would be from here to here roughly. Then we would add, this will be the rib cage. So if we draw that as a box initially, obviously we will have to round that off. And then we would add the hip area. So if you start understanding that from the front, then you can start moving on to drawing it from the side. So how would you draw it from the side? Thank you, IDR. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. So if you missed the early part, we're going to draw a jacked body, male body. So this one's for the boys today, right? So we're going to go into how I would draw this. Probably a little bit better because I will probably add a lot more shade into it and so on. But just to give you a quick overview. So we start the body like this, right? And then now you can see everything that I've done in blue. Obviously nobody's body looks exactly like that, right? So, but that would be the stage one, right? So stage two would be to, let's draw some guidelines here, right? So we got some guidelines here. So we probably won't get the time to go into drawing the body from the side. However, if you did want to, right? If you did want to draw the body from the side, you would have to understand that the spine is actually slightly bent like this, right? So we would draw the hip area like so, and then we would add the rib cage like so. Let's tidy this one up as well. And this is where we add the curves that we require for the actual rib cage. You see, so this is from the side. And then this is from the front. Without going into too much detail with regards to how to draw the the hips, it would look similar to that from the front and from the side. Thank you, IDR. Thank you, Kiva. I'm getting better. Thank you. I appreciate it. Right, so we got our spine curved like so, and then we'd add the head and so on. We're not going to go into that today. Good. Right, so if we are going to add muscle and so on, what I would suggest you do is, just like I did before, we draw a body shape, right? I would go square initially, spine, and then you add the groin area, right? So now we've got our body shape defined. I'm going to do another one larger, a lot larger. But just to show you how you can build this all up from very basic elements. So we also will have to add the arms. You can add the arms simply like that. You You can measure them along the rib cage, so they're roughly to about here. Everywhere you see me draw a circle, that's a joint, right? So that is a shoulder joint and so on. So we've got a basic frame for a human body here. Do the same here for the hips and for the thigh. We add, see? And we could go on further and further, but we're not going to go into that detail with regards to the legs and so on. And if you haven't seen my videos before, oh, good evening, Alex. Nice to see you, mate. If you haven't seen my videos before, I would encourage you guys to add basic objects in the same sort of shape as the thing that you are actually drawing. So you see, I've drawn the shoulders as a basic shape, right? We'll straighten this up. So we've got the torso drawn. We would add our bicep area here, if we're drawing it from the front, and the rest of the arms. And then we would obviously add the thighs here, right? So as I said, try and keep these cylinders roughly the same shape as the muscle itself. That will help you a lot later on. Yeah. So we need to understand a little bit about the skeleton. All right. If we're going to draw the torso, we're going to have to know what the skeleton is, and we're definitely going to have to know what the muscles are. Yeah, I think you're not the only one, Alex. You know, it takes a lot of practice to draw everything exactly right. This is not a good mirror image here, but don't be detracted by that. That's just part of growing, and you'll pick it up with the more experience that you have. The more that you draw, the more you will start to draw instinctively the same on both sides. Has anyone got any other questions? So we've gone from skeleton, front and side, right? So front and back, front and side, excuse me, front and side. And then we've added some more mass to the body here, right? So we are going to draw we're going to skip the legs and the arms. We're just going to go straight into drawing the torso. So I'm going to start again with, I'm going to do a bigger one later on, right? So this goes to show you how fast we can do this. I'm going to do this from start to finish, right? Obviously, I've got a knowledge of the anatomy, right? So this is something you probably have to work on yourself, right? So I'm going to go straight like this, like that. And then I know roughly the rib cage stops around here. And then we're going to arc it up here. Goes down to the lower part of the groin area. So then we know our chest is roughly here. And then we can add collarbone and so on. So you see how quickly I've drawn up this torso here, right? Let's add a little bit more detail. Drop the rib cage down to here. This is why it's important to improve your knowledge on the anatomy, right? We will have the oblique muscles here, roughly here and here. And we've now got a torso. This is the lats at the back. And then we've got a pretty nice jacked, not ultra, but it's pretty impressive. If you've got a stomach that looks like this, you're not doing badly, if I'm honest. You could be doing a lot worse. Right, so let's just take that out a little bit and take that out. Right, so that goes to show you that's our goal today, right? We add a little bit of a separation between the chest here. And now we've got our superhero, well, yeah, I suppose you could almost say superhero type torso. So we are going from this to that. Yeah, but we need the hardest thing. Yeah, I'm not doing the hair, mate. I'm sorry. I'm not doing the hair or the 3/4 yet. I'm going to stick to the script here. Because if we go too deep, I'm going to lose a lot of people. And I've only got 45 minutes today, so I can't go into anything too heavy. But if you really want to understand how to draw the torso and draw it at an angle, you have to know how to box it off. That's what I would say with regards to drawing the torso at an angle. You have to, if you box it off, then you can place everything that you need in the right spot. And that will help you a lot. Because like here, we've got a view where someone's being, the camera is actually above them and they're looking towards it. So you can see a 3/4 angle there. But I'm not going to go into that now. Good. So, oh, you just say, yeah, okay, Maxi, what was your question, by the way? How you doing, LXD? What was your question again? About the high. Yeah, I need to do a tutorial on hair, but I need to practice that myself, actually. I need to practice that myself because I tend to like to do it and practice them a little bit just so I can make sure I know what I'm talking about when I go online. Even though I didn't practice this one. Anyway. Never mind. All right, has anyone got any questions about what I've done up until now? So this is our goal here. This is our goal. Making it look so easy. Ah, yeah. Thank you. Right, I haven't got any questions. Thank you for the gift, Art Patsusu. Cheers, mate. Thank you, Maximi. Right, so let's get into this, right? So I'm going to draw a nice big body here, all right? So let's break it down. We're going to do this nice and slowly, not too mad. We won't go too mad. So, as I said to you all before, just draw a cross like that, just to start, all right? Just draw a cross like that. And that represents this area here. Shoulder and the spine, right? So the shoulder's here and the spine would be there. So that's what this cross means, right? Oh, thank you for the gifts, Nelly. Appreciate that. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And that would help me a lot. As you know, I don't get anything for this because, yeah, I just don't get anything. So what I'm doing, I'm just doing it because I want to help people. Thank you, Riri. Please share. If I'm helping you and you really appreciate what I'm doing, please share. Live goal achieved. I don't even know what these live goals are. I have no idea what that means. Never mind. Let's keep going. So then we define the rib area. Right? So usually, if we were including the head here, it would be 3 heads until the hips here. All right? So that's something you need to bear in mind. It would be around 3 heads. So when I say 3 heads, 1 like so, right to the hips. So that's our goal, right? You can draw the groin area like a pair of underpants. So now, obviously the ribs are shaped more like an egg shape, right? So we're going to tidy that up and round it off. And don't worry too much if you don't get it perfect. Because you're never really going to get it perfect. But every now and again you have these perfect moments. And then we would add our arm here. And here. So now we've got our basic skeleton. All right. As I said, 1 head height would be roughly here. 1, 2, and 3 would be down to here. That's the plan. Good. So let me grab another pen. We now have to add some muscle to this. So what I'm going to show you now is the basic area for the muscle. So I would define the abdominals here, like so. You have your oblique muscles here on the side, like so. See? So now we've got our abdominal area going up to our solar plexus, and then we can add the chest. We have a slight separation in our chest here, right? Because that's where the muscle is and we have a slight separation. And our chest is actually connected to our arm here. All right, and I'll show you that in a minute. So now you can see our character is starting to take shape already. I'm going to... Oh, that's nice. No, the Feather Bureau. Thank you, Kevin. Oh, thank you very much. And so now here, I'm going to add the collarbone, right? So you bend it slightly to here. That's obviously going just past the joint, right? We'll do the same again here. And then we're not going to add much neck detail. However, I'm just going to put some in here quickly just to show you what we need to do. Tack, tack, like so. And then we would probably add a bit more. But I'm going to, in fact, I should have done that red, but never mind. It doesn't matter. So now we will add, we're going jacked, right? So we're going big. I'm going to go really big. So let's go big. Let's go big. See that? Roughly, try and keep them roughly the same size. All right, so we've got some broad-shouldered guy. We can add the neck muscles here. That you can actually curve straight to the bottom here. Just draw a continuous curve. If you draw a continuous curve, then you can just curve it up nicely around the neck. And then you've got your skin area there. See that? And I did it all in one curve. I didn't do them separate. Got a slight muscle there. And we've got pretty much our neck defined. Not a neck tutorial. We're touching on it, but not a neck tutorial. NT, yes, I will. Not a problem. Right. So if anyone's watching and you like my format, you can jump on my YouTube, right? Because I've got tons of videos like this, and I'm explaining everything in exactly the same way. And I do break things down quite slowly, right? So if that's important to you, that should be a bit higher. Please check those out. Good. And thank you for commenting. So as I said, we can use our cylinders to define where we want everything to be. So at this point, you can actually say, right, okay, let me correct anything and let me add anything that I wish, right? Like so. Now you can start calculating, is this right? Is that right? And so on. So he's looking a bit slender here. However, we're going to pump up those lats. There you go. See that? Now he's starting to look a little bit wider. See, before he was very straight, but now he's getting wider. And then we do have a series of muscles here that actually connect to the rib cage. So I'm just going to highlight that 3 times. And then I'm going to pause the action to see if I'm losing anyone. See if Houston, we have a problem. Is everyone getting that? I'm sorry, I'm not doing anything apart from the... I'm not drawing anything apart from the torso. Yes. So if you, say for example here, we actually have some chest muscle. The chest muscle actually connects to our collarbone like that. You see that? So you've actually got a connection here. But we don't have to go too much into it. But this is why when you lift your arms up, you have this stretching along here. If you get what I mean. It's the detailing for the lean muscle group. Well, here, this guy's, well, what we've drawn up until now is quite lean, I would say. Quite big, but quite lean. It depends on how far you want to take this, right? You can take this as far as you want to, right? You could really go amplified. So if I wanted to, I would, let's add the abdominals quickly. So what I like to do is I like to add like a this type of shape. It almost looks like a mouth, like so. It almost looks like a mouth. And this kind of gives you these kind of, what would you call them? You know when you see these guys and they've got really solid abs and they look boxy, right? They're not so round. So that's what I would do. And then I think it's quite nice because you got this curve here. And then what you do is you start rounding it off nicely. You add a little bit of separation here and separation here. I think this pen has just died. Oh, R.I.P. R.I.P. My pen has died. So, I need your powers. No, you just need to watch what I'm doing. That's all you need to do. So, look, is this one going to work? Yeah. So, I'm around. I had my abdominals outlined, and look at that. Look at these babies. They're looking pretty solid, right? Even if it's just like a quick sketch. So don't forget, we see a little bit of the underside of the abdominal, the chest here. So we can add that here. You see? So we see a little bit of the underside of the chest. Like so. And that's what you have to bear in mind. Whatever's behind, think about shading it. Whatever's concaved or dipping, you can think about shading it again. Right, but you'd probably do it better. Let's shade it here. Let's shade it here. Let's shade it here. See, so now we're starting to add a lot more definition and tone to our character. And now my phone is ringing. Excuse me. I hope it doesn't throw us out, because it does that sometimes. I think I have to get a separate phone for my lives. Like so. See, so now we've got quite a serious body here. How you doing, Wada? The pelvis is where you have problems. Well, the pelvis is, as you can see here. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. Ay. Hold on, people. I have to. They don't know, but you know, it's just always the way. It's gone. Retry. Hold on. I need to load you guys back up again. One moment. Good. Okay. So we'll try and speed this one up so I can check that call. Okay. Oh, why has it done that? Huh? Hold on. Oh, Houston, we have a problem. Hold on. Let me just get this right. What is it doing? Oh, that's annoying. Disconnected. Sorry, guys. Someone just rang and it's just mullered everything. Oh, yeah. Come on, let's get this quickly. Okay, right. Sabotage. Yeah, it's there, exactly. I bet it is some disgruntled person that thinks that they're drawing well, but they're not that good. Hold on. Right, okay. Good. I think we've got it. Good. Slightly off, but we are back on track. Good. Your art style seems familiar. I don't even know what my art style is. I have no idea. With regards to the what did you say? Not the abdominals. Hold on. How you doing, Andre? Nice to see you, and thank you very much for the gifts, the kind gifts, and for the follows. Sorry, we had a bit of a technical issue. The pelvis, that was the one. The pelvis, you just have to view it as a funnel. See it as a funnel. When you see it as a funnel, I think I've grabbed the wrong pen because that one is died. I'm going to have to frame that one because that was one of the first pens I ever used on my lives. So you just have to see the hips as a funnel. And the spine is at the back. And then you add your legs. So this is how you have to see your pelvic area. When you start to recognize it like that, you'll be on the right track. Let's add a bit more weight to these legs. A bit slender. Good. Okay, so let's get back into this. Yeah, well, everything that I've drawn up until now is very boxy. It's quite boxy at the moment. However, that is probably what you need to do. Is just round everything off. You just need to know, like here, if I round off these hips here, you can see I've turned this into a feminine character, right? So we've got feminine hips. And, you know, you could quite easily say that's a female body, right? Have a good one, Andre, and thank you for joining me anyway. I used to draw buildings, actually. I was studying to be an architect when I was younger. These are just basic pens, mate. I wouldn't even worry about any pen. I usually use these big pens. It really doesn't matter what I use. They're not special. The only reason I like these is because they don't blotch. They don't do these ink blobs. I hate when they leave these blobs of ink. And thank you for the shares. Oh, really? Well, Maxi, that I had that said to me today, actually. And considering I've never trained to be a teacher and whatever. Let's not even go there, eh? Let's not even go there. I don't know. No. This is just a standard pen. A standard big pen. I could just use that now. For me, it doesn't really matter. Side profile of the arm. We can do that in a minute. But we'll just touch on it very quickly. We'll touch on it very quickly. Recap. No, recap. I can't do a recap now. I am soldering ahead. I cannot. Yeah. If I keep going, then we can cover more. Yeah, the black pen is lovely. I need to buy some more, actually. The black pen, I've got one here somewhere. And it is nice. I need to get a couple more. Goku, I don't even know who that is. I think I do, but I don't watch manga. But I will. I'll look him up. Because if he's popular, that would bring a lot of traffic to me. Goku muscles, right? All right, let me look it up. Because I might do it, actually. If it interests me. So hang in there, Julian. And if you're not following me, you should. Because you might miss it then. Good. Okay, let's get into this. So. I'm trying to think, where was I? So this is how I've mapped out the torso, right? So if we draw the torso, I'm going to use a black pen now. If we draw, make sure that I'm in view. If we draw the back, again, the spine, right? Like so. It's roughly like that. Our spine looks roughly like that. That would be our thigh. This is the lower back. This is the spine going up to here. And then the neck and torso would be here. The neck is here. And we would have our rib cage roughly here. Right? So now, and then obviously we would, let's add the neck and the head. All right, so I'm just sketching it up really quickly. We're not going to go too much into it, but we've got this kind of shape like that. So now the abdominals here would literally, it depends on what you want to do. If you want really slender, you go really straight, right? But usually people have a little bit of a bulge here. Little bit. Not always, but that's just because of the shape of the body. And then we would see here, the oblique muscles that we've drawn here, we would see them here. You see that? That would be the oblique muscle here. We would also, let's draw the arm here, like someone asked before. If the arm is like that, and I said to you, draw the placeholder, same sort of shape as the muscle, this is basically what you would draw. And then you've got your character from the side. Thank you for following me, by the way. Can you draw body poses? Yes, I can. Even better, Saturo. We'll see. Did you happen to use iShow Speed's face? No, I don't even know what that is. What is that? What is iShow Speed's face? I don't even know what that is. Have no idea. I have no. Oh, thank you, Asashi. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's it's kind of your elbows. It depends on how tall you are, obviously, but usually the elbow it sort of aligns to the lower rib cage, I find. And if you like the torso stuff, not the torso, excuse me, the anatomy stuff, then that's what I'm going to be doing one very, very soon, but it's going to be more hardcore anatomy like this. But I'm going to do a hardcore anatomy on the torso. So I'm going to do an image like this for the male torso. So if you like what you see, you can definitely catch up on that. I've already done one, but this is not the image itself. But I've already done one on the back. Do I dissect people? Well, it depends how you like your meat. You know, some people like it in little squares. Some people like slices. It depends on if it's a Sunday, I go for the slices. I'm teasing. No, I don't dissect people. Come on, please. I'm getting flagged for absolutely everything at the moment. How long did you study, and where can it get you in the career world? Well, I don't know where it's going to get me in the career world. I am not pursuing a career in this industry, even though I am an art teacher, and I'm going online, and I've built up how many 26,000 followers in under a year. So I must be doing something right. It depends what you want, but because for me this isn't work. This is just me drawing and sharing my skill. I'm whether it goes anywhere, I don't know. There might be a millionaire sitting there watching me and thinking, I want this guy to teach me, or, I don't know where it's going to go. And I don't think too much about it. Don't cry, Kenny Buzz. Don't cry. I don't eat people. I'm only joking. Don't cry, Kenny. Don't cry. Don't be like that. So there you go. No, no. I used to only draw characters before. Is gems. I used to only draw characters. If you check my feed, you'll see tons of characters. But I like the reason I'm drawing a lot of anatomy now is because I want to prove my skill level. That's why I'm doing anatomy, because I want to prove my skill level. Because you got many people that can draw characters, but they can't draw anatomy. So this is how I want to distinguish myself and show that I can draw anatomy and I can draw characters. And, well, different types of characters as well. I can kind of draw manga and I can kind of draw Marvel. Excuse me? Please, what? Please speed. What's that mean? What does that mean? How you doing, Junie? How are you doing? So, right. Well, let's finish this one off. I'm not sure what you mean by please speed. However, I am just going to go at my pace. It's just the way it is. It's just going to go at my pace. So, is everyone getting that? This is how you would draw the body from the side, but this is not the actual main topic. But if you wanted to, you could do so. No, I'm not doing lips. I will be doing it next week. A lip drawing tutorial is on its way. I started practicing. I'm just going to do a quick flash there, but I'm not doing it today. Good. So let's get back into this. So here, it's pretty much, this torso would be pretty much done, right? However, we could add some cool shading where we require it, just to make everything a lot more dynamic, give it some contrast. And we've got quite a jacked male body here, as you can see. Has anyone got any top questions about what I've done up until now? Anyone got any questions? See, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, let's go ultra jacked, right? So let's go a bit wider. So I'm sticking to the same script. And I would do this if I was, even if I was thinking about designing a character, I'd probably start it like this, just to make sure everything's nice and symmetrical, right? So now we've got our body defined, right? And then we can start to add, let's reduce the size of the rib cage. We can add the collarbone. See how I do that? You see, I break it down and put everything in the right place. So when I've got it in the right place, I know where all the muscles attach, what I need to do. Like the hips here, I've drawn them quite rigid, but you can round that off already. That will help you a lot if you round everything off already. Let's take that up a little bit. So that now we've got our skeleton. Well, it depends how much you practice. It depends how much you practice. Shift it. What does that mean? Shift it. It's a bit rude. How dare you? Shift it. Oh, it's easy to break it down. Well, I don't know. It depends. It just depends. I don't know. If you've drawn it proportionally wrong in the beginning, then that means your breaking down process was wrong. No? How would you draw a plus size torso? Right, that's a good question. Even though we're not basing it on a plus size. Usually, the human body, I'm going to touch on it very quickly. Usually, the human body is around the same. Oh, who is that? Oh, I'm on a live, mate. Sorry, guys, I've got to just get the door. Oh, sorry about that. Back again. So. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Thank you. I knew what you were saying. I know you weren't being rude. So anyway, let's get back into this, right? So now what I'm going to do is, I'm a bit, I've lost my flow. I lost my flow there. Oh yeah, the plus size. That's it. See, so usually the human frame is roughly the same anyway for us all. We've got roughly the same frame with regards to, we've got the same, roughly the same proportions, right? And plus size is just an amplification of what is around our body. Do you see what I'm saying? So I've just turned this person into plus size, almost like looking like they're slightly pregnant. See, so now I'm going to add some more here, and now I've added some fat to the back. But this is a little bit off subject, and I'm not going to go any further with it. But that's how you would do it. Yeah, good. But now we're back on track. Okay. So let's get back into this. So now I'm going to add the same sort of muscles, but let's go even bigger. Let's go even bigger, right? So now I'm just going to, if you imagine the chest is almost like, it's this type of shape. You see that shape there? That is basically what I'm drawing here. You see? It's that shape. And the reason why I add the arms, let's put the arms out even wider here. Let's go really wide with the arms. So we're going to try and go bodybuilder size, right? See, because this chest muscle is actually connected to the collarbone, and then it runs through the middle like that. So now we've got that muscle lift here because it's connected to the arm. Now we're going to add shoulders. Oh yeah, I said ultra big, right? So let's go really big, right? Let's go really big. So he's proper flexing. Rib cage is good. Quite happy with that. So then we would have to add our oblique muscles. He looks a bit long actually. I think I've done him a little bit long. Like so. See now the torso looks very, very slim, because usually people don't look like this. You do have a lot of bodybuilders that do look like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the muscles on the back here, the lats, come down like so. And then we'd have to add the neck and the arms and so on, but I'm not going to do that. But that just gives you an idea as to how you can amplify everything. Again, we can add and thicken the neck and then the head and so on. No, I don't even know who Ryan Otley is. Thank you, Ploy. Thank you very much. See, right, so let's tidy this up. I'm going to draw it. If you, as you see here, I'm going to do something like a little bit of an experiment just to show you that if you draw the muscle and you add lots of nice curves like I've got here, right? If you add lots of nice curves and you know the skin's nice and soft and you draw a nice body, right? And it looks quite accurate. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it up and show you when you start to add some more angles to it, when you start to straighten it up, right? So now I'm going to try and, I did this before a long time ago. When you add straighter lines to the muscle, it actually makes the person look a lot harder. Obviously you don't go over the top, but once you start adding these sharper muscles, right? See that? It really does make the character look a lot more aggressive. Almost robotic. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button. I haven't said that for a while. I've just been rambling on, but I tend not to sell it very well. But I do need the support of you guys. But there you go. You can see the comparison, right? So consider that if you want to draw someone that's a bit kind of cyber, maybe you can add these kind of sharpish lines to really give that muscle some angles and some stress, so to say, like you haven't got any skin on it, and it really does chisel it out. And you chisel it out, and then you've got the muscles like so. Maybe not go over the top, but it depends on your style of artwork. And there you go. That gives you a comparison of the two. Hello, lovely Tell, and thank you for the kind gifts. I was thinking maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing I'm actually thinking of doing a program on YouTube where I literally break everything down. So I'm gonna literally draw a body from start to finish, so people can literally go from lesson 1 to 2 to 3 and so on. So that's my plan. But this whole TikTok thing, it really did spring up on me, and I didn't realize that I was gonna get popular at all. I didn't realize. I was thinking, no, I'm not very good at this, and you know, the doubts that creep in. Everybody else can do this better, kind of thing. And it just jumped. It's just jumped. The whole year's just really jumped. So it caught me by surprise. I was literally drawing with the camera here, looking at the camera and drawing at the same time when I first started. And it's just, I have to think about investing in a new camera and new this and new setup fully. So it's just the way it is. Yes, please subscribe to my YouTube if you like what you see. You can support me there, because then I'll actually get paid for it. But I'm not getting anything from this channel at the moment, or for this channel at the moment. But that gives you a little bit of a comparison. That would be more like a Batman looking. And obviously shading is important. I'm not going to go into shading today. But once you start to shade it nicely, you can really get your artwork to pop. And that's why I like to practice the anatomy, because you have to shade a ton. You have to be shading a lot. And then you start to work out how the muscle undulates and where it pinches in because of other muscles and stuff like that. So I like to work like that as well. Good, good, good. So, right. Oh, there's just a love of passion for what you do. Yeah, but maybe you need to draw something else. If you lose the passion, then maybe you're drawing the wrong thing. Maybe it's not coming very natural to you. I don't know. But I like to, what I draw is what I like to draw. Do you see what I mean? People have asked me, oh, can you draw, I don't know, I can't even think of anything. But can you draw a flower, you know? And it's not my thing, you know? I probably could, but I don't really want to. Do you see what I mean? Thank you for the uni. Thank you for the gift. You know, so try and draw things that you enjoy drawing, because then you're going to have that willingness to learn, you know? Because drawing can be it's quite difficult, even when you're enjoying what you're drawing. So, right, we are now, last 8 minutes, and then I have to cook. We are now in the last few minutes, so ask any questions if you have any. Let's add some cool shade in here. And there you go. You can see this is coming on quite nicely. It's a little bit off, but it's okay. You're welcome, Gummy Bog. And animals, I not very often. The horses I used to draw, and frogs. I used to like drawing frogs. Don't ask me why, but horses are so majestic. I want to show you how I drew it. Just post it on your TikTok and @mention me. I'll definitely can see it then, because I haven't got the time now, unfortunately. But are you happy with it? That's the thing. Yeah, that's also a thing. But in my opinion is that you can draw anything as long as you love it. Exactly. I agree. Do I like drawing some animals? Yes, I did cover that. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome, mate. Welcome, Gummy. Even if it's hard to sketch. Yeah, and this is the thing. Try and sketch things that you don't actually like to draw, because you will find that you learn a lot from sketching things that you're not very good at, because it takes you out of your comfort zone, and then you end up thinking, you end up just learning. Do you see what I mean? So drawing things that you're not very good at is a very good lesson. It's a very good teacher. How long? Well, like people ask me this all the time. I've always been drawing, but now I've literally started drawing every day over the last 11 months. So, but this is like, when I say I'm drawing every day, I mean literally every single day. And I will be drawing for, like today, just today alone, I think I was drawing for around 3.5, maybe 4 hours. 2 live streams, and then I'm teaching as well. And today I didn't have to do much because the students were doing their own thing, so I didn't actually have to do much. But minimum, just with the live streams alone, I will be drawing for maybe 2.5 hours a day, easily. Hi, Joma. Anyone got any questions? Anyone got any questions? And it is achievable. It's all achievable, right? So it's about how much you're willing to put into it to get it in the end. There's nothing different between me and you. At the end of the day, I've put into practice, and you're still probably going to put into practice, and you know, at some point you might fly right past me, which is all good. Not a problem. I'm just over creating this. He's got a really narrow waist. I think I'd have to broaden that a little bit. This guy, massive neck. Don't know what I'm doing with that. More like a Tekken type character. Thank you, Broke. What books? Well, the book I've got is it's a very advanced book, and the guy's name is, there's so many brilliant ones out there, to be honest. Gottfried, is that right? Yeah. Yeah. That's the book I've got. It's a German book because I bought it many, many years ago. But you can find so many good ones on the anatomy and drawing the body. But for me, one of the keys is when you want to draw anything, just learn how to simplify. It's like if you don't know how to simplify, you're just going to get lost. Do you see what I mean? You can say, "Oh, I've just simplified, how to draw someone, a female." And a head is the same. The head, you just go, learn how to simplify it first, and then start to tune it up and add details. Because I don't draw everything perfectly, no chance. But I can break things down, I break things down, and then I just use my experience to try and, okay, what's proportionate? Okay, let's correct that, and, But I always start, excuse me, very simple. If I draw a leg, I start, as you can see here, if I draw a bone, I draw the bone very simple. However, I know what it looks like in real life. In real life, it looks roughly like this. But that, you don't need to know that. Do you see what I mean? This looks like that. But all I do is draw this. And then I add the muscle. See that? Now we've got the hip area of a female. Do you see what I mean? So that's how I do it. And then after that, if you do that, if we call this stage one, this is stage one. And then, because we have this understanding, stage two is just simply putting the cylinder on top of it. Stage three is to defining the leg and add all that muscle and so on. And now we've got a muscular leg. But with these stages, take your time. I would just take your time. Let's make this leg even bigger. Seeing as we're going massive attack today, let's make it big. That's how you can work it out. Oh, it's frozen. Oh, no, not again. That is annoying. How annoying is that? I told you, mate. They're going for me. Nobody wants me to succeed at this. That is so annoying. Well, I think that's a cue. I might have to do this one again. Because that is so annoying. That is annoying, isn't it? Can you draw me? Yes, you can. I don't know how you're going to draw me, because I haven't got many photographs of myself online. I've drawn myself, actually. And I drew myself Bucky style. It's quite funny. So is that good? Thank you for telling me it's frozen. Sorry, I didn't realise that. But what I was just showing you was here, just quickly, is you see that this is the real bone, right? So this is what the real bone would look like. See that? And once you understand that, then you know, okay, what did he show me? He showed me that he drew the thigh bone like this. See? And the reason why I would recommend that you kind of learn how the muscles connect to the no, the reason why you should learn the bone, excuse me. The reason why you should learn the bone is because then you know how the muscles connect to the bone. Because they do curve and, you know, twist around it. So that just depends on what you want to learn and what level you want to go with it. But it's just what I like to do. Yeah, they're sabotaging. They're sabotaging me, mate. Never mind, eh? We will keep going. I would love to draw an alien. I used to draw zombies really well. I did a few zombie images, and they're really good as well. They're funny ones. Some of them turned out quite funny. Some turned out really quite ugly, as they supposed to. I look forward to seeing it. Higgins. What's that? If you understand. Yeah, everything. It's all about eliminating problems, right? So once you start understanding what you're doing, you just eliminate that problem. That's one less thing to think about. You know, if you only draw anime, you're gonna try and draw something else, and you may be really good at anime, but there are going to be other problems. Like I can't draw portraits. I really can't draw portraits. I would love to join a course. I think I might actually join one because I don't really draw portraits. It's just the way it is. Thank you, Andreas. I suppose you could say I'm quite kind and warm because I do this for free, don't I? And yeah, thank you for that. Anyway. Oh, hands. Oh, mate, I am the hand legend. If you, I can only call you alien because you've got this alien. I don't know what do you call that emoji thing. Join my YouTube. You'll find them all there. The hand one. Look up the crooked house. Look up the crooked house. Literally, crooked house, and that is to teach you how to draw hands. And it's literally you will pick that up. I don't have the time now, but I taught my students this, and they still use this now, and they're really getting really good at this. And it's literally this. It's literally this. And you will learn how to draw hands in under 4 minutes. Especially if you join my live. Yeah. That is the one. That is the crooked house. That's what you need to go to on my YouTube. I know he's drawing rule 3/4 34, but I can't prove. What is that? What is that? I don't even know what that is. My YouTube is Art Walker. It's the same as this, Art Walker. And I'll post this one as well. I will post this one unedited. So if you want to watch it again, you can see what I did. As you see, I digress all the time. So I need to put the pen away. Oh, really? Is it something rude? Okay. Well, please keep it clean, people. Not appropriate. Well, that's boring, isn't it? What's the problem there? Why would you do that? Okay. He won't be saying any more. He won't be saying any more. He's gone. Thank you for letting me know. What is wrong with people? Do you know what I mean? Would you go into a bar and just walk up to people and say things like that? Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, whatever. So we are finished. Yes, AJ, but it's doable. It's all doable, mate. Yeah? Be patient and you got this. Use the cone. That's the one. And then you just fine tune it and turn it into a pelvis. Do you see what I'm saying? Then you sculpt it. Imagine that you're sculpting it. Yeah? And then when you rotate it, you imagine it as a pelvis. Yeah, I've got. I just. If people start talking rubbish, I just throw them out the chat. I have no problem with that. No problem. And thank you for the moustache. Whatever. I just saw that pop up in the corner. How do you draw feet? Please check my. Yes, please check my YouTube, Noah. I'm not doing it today because I have one extensive on drawing feet, and it's literally like this, and it's only how to draw feet. And ladies and gents, I need to go because I'm starving. I'm starving. Thank you to all that joined me. I hope you enjoyed that. It was really cool. Really appreciate everyone's time and energy and enthusiasm. My tip to you all, right? Take your time. Take your time, right? Don't expect it to just go click and it's going to work for you. Just take your time, build it up gradually and gradually. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, maybe, boom, you got it. Don't give up, though. Don't give up. Take care. Bang. See ya.